Good evening and welcome to the Business Day. I'm Javon Key. So it's a historic day as the Bank of Jamaica, BOJ, has reduced the policy interest rate for the first time since the COVID-19 pandemic. This comes after calls by the private sector which say they have been reeling from higher costs for borrowing. The latest monetary policy decision by the central bank shows that effective August 21, that's tomorrow, the rate offered on overnight balances on the current accounts of deposit-taking institutions will be 6.75% per annum. This is coming from the 7% which the rate has been held at since November 2022. The move marks a milestone as the BOJ first adjusted the policy interest rate in September 2021 from 0.5% in a bid to slow inflation in the economy due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The BOJ's Monetary Policy Committee met last week and unanimously agreed that based on the current macroeconomic conditions, things are conducive for a cautious easing of its monetary policy stance. Annual headline inflation as at July 2024 was 5.1%, reflecting the fifth consecutive month in which inflation fell within the Bank of Jamaica's 4 to 6% target range. The central bank also says the relatively stable foreign exchange market supported the decision. This decision comes after the MPC's June announcement to gradually reduce the absorption of liquidity, which it says has already resulted in an injection of $20.5 billion into the system and a 105 basis points reduction in the interest rates on the BOJ's 30-day certificates of deposit. Now, the central bank says inflation expectations in Jamaica are on a consistent downward path, and it says the domestic price level has also been favorable to support some international commodity prices going down. The BOJ says the risks to inflation are balanced, which means that inflation is likely to be within the projected range over the next period. So what all of this means, ladies and gentlemen, is that the policy interest rate is lower, and it's expected that in a couple of months, of course, you will see that pass through in about a year or so. Of course, we'll delve deeper into this occurrence in subsequent newscasts, as of course there is some time before the pass-through of this reduction will take effect in the economy. Now let's head to some company news. Local electrical and PVC manufacturing company FosRich is reporting a higher profit of $44.89 million for its second quarter ended June 2024. In the comparative period ended June 2023, the company made $40.77 million. This was supported by lower costs associated with sales, along with increased other income. However, for the 6 months ended June 2024, FosRich made lower post-tax earnings of $77.88 million to the $162.5 million made last year. This was in the context of lower overall revenues and higher finance costs in the second quarter. FosRich says lower revenue of $884.63 million versus $940.85 million was made in the second quarter last year. To the markets now. Some more historic news as the Jamaican dollar hit a new record low compared to the U.S. currency. At the close of trading today, $1 American dollar was being sold for an average $158.44 Jamaican. This is the highest average selling rate for the U.S. currency compared to the local currency. Now, the last record was set 4 days ago at $158.26. As for the other benchmarks, the Canadian is being sold for $116.24 to $103.58 is the average value of the pound, while the euro is trading for $178.81. To the stock market, the JSE index advanced by 59 points, while the junior market index rose by 34 points. Among the 46 winners were Sterling Investments, Honeybun, 1982, Sterling Investments, US dollar shares, MFS Capital Partners, and Blue Power Group. Now, the 33 losers included Epley 7.5% preference shares due 2024, 138 Student Living Jamaica variable preference shares, Edufocal, Consolidated Bakeries Jamaica, and Epley Caribbean Property Fund SCC. 26 stocks traded firm. And that is it for the Business Day. I'm Javon Keys. Good evening.